Welcome back, class. So we were studying about the Fourier transform. So in the last lecture we learned about that if we have any aperiodic signal f of t for example, and if we want to convert it to frequency domain Fourier transform, so we can get that by multiplying that aperiodic signal with exponential minus j omega t times dt, and we integrate from minus infinity to infinity. So we have any aperiodic signal, we can get its Fourier transform, and we solved the different examples for the rectangular function, exponential, impulse, and all this. So we have solved a simple example. For example, for the exponential function, we did the example. For the rectangular function, we did the example. Okay. For the impulse function, we have solved one example. Okay. So what if, for example, let's say our signal is cosine. Okay, this is the periodic signal. So last time I told you that even if we have a periodic signal, we can also calculate its Fourier transform. Okay, but if we have aperiodic signal, we cannot calculate its Fourier series. So for example, if we have cosine of this, so if we want to calculate its Fourier transform, then what will happen? So this is f of t. So f of t e की power minus j omega t times dt. Okay, that is the formula. So f of t is what? Cosine of omega naught t e की power minus j omega t times dt. Okay, so now you have to solve this integration. Okay, so if you try to solve this integration, it will take a lot of time, because you have to do the integration by parts, and you should memorize all the different integrations rules. Okay, so it will take a lot of time. Okay, then for example, let's say we have a shifted rectangular signal. Okay, or for example, we have a shifted rectangular signal, this one, so we can solve this. But if our input signal become complex, okay, then using the conventional formula, okay, it become difficult to use this conventional formula for that. Okay, so for this purpose, we are going to study about the properties of the Fourier transform. That is the next topic of this chapter, Fourier transform properties. So when we learned that how by using the Fourier transform properties, we can actually easily get the Fourier transform of the complex signals. For example, here, like we have seen, if we apply this, okay, the conventional analysis formula, the procedure is quite complex. So we will learn that how by using properties, we can actually make our calculation easier. Okay, well, let's see. So there are different properties, okay, of the Fourier transform: linearity, time shift, time reversal, time scaling, time transformation, duality, frequency shift, convolution, modulation, integration, differentiation, and time and frequency and symmetry. Okay, so we are going to study all these properties, okay, step by step. So let's see the first property. So the first property is linearity. So linearity property is, for example, if we have two functions, okay, one is f1 of t and the other one is f2 of t, okay, any two functions, and they are adding in time domain, and if you want to calculate their Fourier transform, so what you can do, that you simply calculate the Fourier transform of this function, okay, that will be f1 of omega. You simply calculate the Fourier transform of this function, f2 of omega, and then just add them. Okay, so individually calculate the Fourier transform of this, individually calculate the Fourier transform of this, and then just add them. So this will be the Fourier transform of the adding functions in the time domain. Okay, so linearity property is, if two functions are being added in time domain, okay, you just take their individual Fourier transform and then just add them. That will be the combined Fourier transform of their addition. Okay, for example, if two cosine signals are adding together, okay, and you want to calculate that, what will be the Fourier transform of the adding signal, So just take the Fourier transform of the individual signal and just add them. Okay, so this is called linearity property. Okay, so basically the example which I was discussing earlier, the cosine. For example, if we have a cosine signal, okay, so as I said earlier, if we use the analysis formula, so we have to b cosine of omega naught t e की power minus j omega t times dt. Okay, so if we want to calculate the Fourier transform of this one, so we have to solve this complex integration, which is not good. Okay, it's a time taking process. So we will learn that how by actually using the linearity property we can easily get the Fourier transform of this one. So I will solve this example during the live session. Okay, so the idea is, so basically we can convert this cosine signal into two signals. Okay, so if you remember, so basically f of t cosine, it can be written as a की power j omega t plus okay, cosine can be written as a की power j omega t plus e की power minus j omega t divided by 2. Okay, so basically this signal can be written as two signals. Okay, so if we apply the linearity property, if we just calculate the Fourier transform of this one, Fourier transform of this one, and we just add them, we will get the Fourier transform of the cosine signal. Okay, so we will solve this, that how by using the linearity property we can easily get the Fourier transform of such signal. The second linearity property is time scaling. Okay, time scaling is, as we have learned in chapter 2, that you are performing the compressing or expanding of your signal. Okay, for example, you have a signal f of t, and in time domain it is multiplied with a factor a. Okay, so we know that depending on the a value, the signal could be compressing or expanding. Okay, so if you're in time domain, okay, you are getting time scaling, okay, then it's very easy that you have f of t, you calculate its Fourier transform. Okay, what we have a signal, you know its Fourier transform. Okay, and now if this signal is time scaled, then what you can do, so whatever the time scaling factor you have, you will divide with that in Fourier transform, and inside of omega you will also divide with that factor. Okay, for example, let's say we are going to calculate f2 of t. So whatever Fourier transform of the original signal we have, so this will be 1/2 Fourier transform of that divided by 2. Okay, so you don't have to recalculate every time. Okay, just know the Fourier transform of the original signal. Okay, for example, the rectangular signal, we know that if we have a rectangular signal, last time we solved this, that if we have a rectangular signal, its Fourier transform is b times sinc of omega t over 2, right? So this is the Fourier transform of a rectangular signal. So now if we have a shifted rectangular signal, here is the, so original is t over ta, so here we have 2 times. Okay, so here your scaling factor is what? So original f of t is what? Rectangular of t over ta. Okay, you get another signal, okay, g of t, okay, which is actually what? F of 2t. Okay, f of t is rectangular, and now the time is being scaled by 2, so the value of a is 2. So now instead of recalculating this using the analysis formula, we can directly use this property and we can easily solve this. Okay, so try to solve this, okay, at home, and I will resolve this during the live session, this example. So remember, time scaling property is, if in time domain you are getting multiplier, in frequency domain it will be divided by that factor, and also the omega will be divided by that factor. This is the time scaling property. The next is time shifting property. Okay, what is time shifting property? Okay, we know that, for example, if this was our unit step signal, okay, then this is our shifted unit step signal. Okay, or in other words, if this is my f of t, then this is my shifted f of t, right? So if you get a time shift in frequency domain, so again get the Fourier transform of original signal. So like what is the Fourier transform of my original signal? Okay, and then just multiply with that e की power minus j omega t naught with that time shifted factor. Okay, just multiply with the time shifted factor. Okay, so whatever time shifting factor we are having, okay, f of t, the Fourier transform is f of omega, and now you have a time shifting, so keep the original Fourier transform, just multiply with e की power minus j omega t naught. T naught is what? The time shifting factor. Okay, so just multiply with this factor and we will get the Fourier transform of that. You don't have to do the analysis and the other things, so just use the property. Okay, this is time shifting property. If we have a shift in time, we will solve this example. Try to solve this example. If you guys remember, if we have a times sigma of t, the impulse is Fourier transform was a. Okay, so like if we have 5 sigma of t, its Fourier transform will be 5. Now if we have a shifted, then what will be its Fourier transform? So try this. We will solve this during live session, this example. Also this is another example of the rectangular signal, so we will solve this during live session. The next property is time transformation. Okay, so we learned about time scaling here, that you are just doing the time scaling, then we are just doing the time shifting, and if we combine both of them, we generally refer this as time transformation. So the rule is same. General rule is, if we have time scaling and time shifting, so for the time scaling it will be divided by that factor, and omega will be divided by that factor, and for the time shifting we will just multiply with e की power j omega t naught. Okay, but here the important thing is we have f of a t minus t naught generally. So if you want to the factor, so general factor is that t naught we multiply with e की power minus j omega t naught. Okay, but the generalized formula is, now we will take this a as a common here, so this will be t minus t naught over a. So here the time shifting is by this factor t naught over a. So we will be multiplying with e की power j, general is e की power j omega t naught, so in this case it will be e की power j omega t naught over a. Okay, so this is the general formula of the time transformation. Time scaling factor divided time shifting factor, just multiply e की power j omega t naught over a. Okay, so we will solve these examples about the time transformation during the live session. So this is the end of this part of the lecture. We will solve the example during the live session. Thank you very much for your time.